How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Mike here. Welcome to my oasis where I get in front of a camera and talk to you about whatever I want. Actually, today I'm not talking about whatever I want. This is a question that was posted in one of my videos. Someone asked, what are some businesses that I can start today that are stress-free? The key word is stress-free. The truth of the matter is, I'm going to talk about 7 different businesses that is very low entry, easy to start, that I've personally been involved in, but I cannot guarantee that they're stress-free because stress level is going to be based on your personality and how well and not so well that you handle a lot of tasks. Okay, so let's jump into it. The first business that I think anyone can start today is being a blogger. Now, being a blogger basically involves writing. If you are passionate about writing or you know how to write, this is a great way to start a business. Now, even if you're not, there are platforms available for you that will write your content for you. It's not free, it's for a fee, and boom, you can jumpstart your business that way. I remember one I used to use back in the day. It's called Writer's Access. You pay a certain amount of money per article or per content. You basically provide them with the subject matter. You can provide specific things to write about, and boom, in a day or two, they have a beautiful article for you and you can post it on your blog. Now, how do you make money through this business? Simple. You have a blog, which is AKA a website, and you put content on it, and then you put ads around that content. Now, the key part of a business like this is that, one, you're adding some value, okay? You're adding value for the reader or to the reader, and also you can have an entertainment blog. Basically, you're providing something. There has to be a value add. If you're just creating general topics or general content, then it might not do as well. So make sure you pick a good niche, more particularly a niche that perhaps you're passionate about or that you're very knowledgeable about, and write about it and monetize your thoughts, basically. Number 2, Amazon dropshipping. Now, this is one that I would tread lightly, and this is another business that I've been involved in the past. It has its ups and downs, but I think for someone who has the time and some resources can get started today. The best part about Amazon dropshipping is that you don't need thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars to start. You can literally start with zero money, or if you have a low interest or no interest credit card. The way Amazon dropshipping works is that you create a seller's account on Amazon, and that allows you to sell items. You have a product. Now, you can do dropshipping 2 ways. You can either resell stuff from like your wholesale shops like Sam's Club or even Walmart, or you can source a particular item or a niche item through a manufacturer. Then you buy them in bulk and resell them to the end customer. But dropshipping, the beautiful part about dropshipping is that you don't need to keep inventory. Basically, if you have a triangle set up where you have a relationship with the manufacturer, a relationship with Amazon, and the end customer. So whenever you basically source an item, take that item, get some nice pictures, write a beautiful description, put it up on Amazon. Amazon will provide you with the traffic and the views and exposure you need. And whenever somebody orders that item, all you do is take care of the transaction part. Well, technically, Amazon takes care of that for you, and you just take care of the transaction part with your manufacturer, and the item will be shipped directly from the manufacturer to the end customer. You're basically a middle guy, and you get it for one price here, you sell it for another price here. These people are happy because you've paid them. Amazon is happy because they've taken 15% of their share, and you're happy because the end customer paid you enough money for you to keep a little change in your pocket. That's how dropshipping works. Again, the best part is you don't have to have a lot of money or any money really to get started. Number 3, YouTube. If you have the passion to get in front of a camera and talk, literally what I always tell people is YouTube anyone can do YouTube. Obviously there are downsides to it, but you don't need the fancy cameras or the fancy lights. When I started doing YouTube, I had my old Samsung Galaxy S6, or maybe it was the S4, I don't remember, but basically through my phone. And I remember who inspired me to start doing YouTube. I used to watch this guy named, I forgot his name. I used to follow this guy named Casey Neistat. And I remember watching one of his videos, or maybe it was a podcast of him being interviewed, and he said that people think that they need to have the fancy equipment to start doing YouTube. But generally speaking, you just use whatever resources and equipment that you have, and you keep going. And I can guarantee you that no matter what the subject matter is, you have people who are interested in what you have to say. The downside of YouTube is the fact that you're basically vulnerable, and sometimes you can get lost in this digital world when you have a complete life outside of YouTube. So that's the only thing I'll look out for. But in terms of getting started, you don't need much. You literally have the equipment right now. If you have a cell phone in 2021, chances are your cell phone already has great camera on it, and you can start doing YouTube today. Doesn't cost you anything. Number 4, wholesaling. If you've ever wanted to get into real estate, wholesaling is one of the best entryway. Now, it will take work. Even though you're not spending money, you have to put in your time to do wholesaling. One person some of you may know about already, or many of you know about, is Max Maxwell. He's built a multi-million-dollar business doing wholesaling. And wholesaling works very similar as drop shipping. Again, you don't need any inventory, you don't need any license to do this. You basically source out a property that you think has value, or not you think, you're certain that has value, and you help somebody solve their problem. For example, if you find a property that to the average eye is in dire condition or needs a lot of work, if the owner still lives there, you can go to the owner and see what problems or growing pains that owner has, and you can offer to help that owner resolve their problems. And wholesalers do this all day, every day. It's a people's business, so to speak. So you will need some people's skills to get into wholesaling. And you're able to help that owner solve their problem in a way where you tell them, hey, let's say they're back on their taxes, or they have, they're delinquent on payments or something like that. You can help them directly solve that problem, or you can find an investor who has the cash to help them solve that problem. In exchange, they have to give up ownership of that asset, which is the house or the property. And that's how wholesaling works, is you get a property for a lower amount under paper. You're not paying for it. So say, for example, you find a property where you feel the market value or the value to an investor is, say, $100,000, but you're able to pick it up for, say, $65,000 or $75,000. Again, you've already worked with the owner, you have it on paper, it's a contract, and you make a deal with the owner, and you tell the owner, hey, I can get you $75,000 for this property. You go find an investor within, say your contract with the owner is, 30 days or 2 weeks. Within that time frame, you find an investor who does this every day, all day, every day. And that investor also knows the value of the property. And that investor knows that, okay, if I fix up this property, I can probably make another $50,000 or $60,000 profit. So they're happy to pay you $100,000 for it. So you find the investor, they write you a check for 100, you pay your owner 75, you keep the rest. That's how wholesaling works in a nutshell. You don't need that much to get started. Literally, you don't need any money to get started. You just have to learn some information and get on the phone. Number 5, Turo. Except you've been living under a rock, Turo is a car rental platform that allows everyday people to be able to rent their cars. Unlike, say, go to Enterprise or any of these car rental places, you can rent your own car to somebody else. Now, the reason why this is easy entry is because more than likely you already own a car. And if your car is sitting in your garage or your driveway, like mine is right now, I drive my car maybe 3 times a week. And in those times that the car is sitting, somebody could be paying you to use your car. This will always depend on your comfort level of letting a stranger drive your car, but it can be very profitable. Now, if you decide to turn this into a real business, there are ways to do it. You can go out to a car dealership and go either buy or lease a good, standard working car. It doesn't have to be something expensive. So say for example, you go to a dealership and you're able to finance, lease, or buy a car. And let's say your payment on that car is $300 and you spend another $100 or $120 on insurance, maintenance, whatever. So let's just assume that your payment for that car every month is $450. Now you put that same car on Turo, you're able to rent it out, and within a month's period, you're able to make $1,000 to $1,200 every month. That's good profit. That's great net profit, actually. So you're keeping $500 to $600 in your pocket every single month. Now, the best part about a platform like Turo is that the business is scalable. So you can start with one car, and if you have a proof of concept with one car, all you have to do is just repeat the process. Get another car and get another car. Let's say you're able to put together 3 to 4 cars. That's a few $1,000s in your pocket every single month. Every single month, where the car is paying for itself and on one side, and then on another side, it's putting some money in your pocket. That's another business you can get started with today. Very low entry and very less stress-free. Now, let me take that back. The stress level, again, would depend on your personality and the type of people that are driving your car. Number 6, we're almost done. Same as Turo, you could also rent boats. This is crazy. I actually just got into, well, I didn't get into it. I now know people in this industry of boat rental. I really didn't know much about boat or water machines until I started my flying journey or flying career. And generally speaking, in aviation, you have a lot of pilots who also like boating. And so I've met a few people who are into boats and being on the water, and it's a big business. Boats. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that boating is a big business? And I know someone, one of my partners, who have a multi-million-dollar business built on this. He rents boats and jet skis, and he lives very close to the water. Now, this is, I guess, one of the requirements, or the most efficient way to do this is you have to be close to the water, or rent a space at a marine, or whatever the case may be. Now, this may be one of the important requirements, is that you want to be close to the water because you will need space to keep your boats or jet skis or rent somewhere at a marina. But once you can get in, and you only really need one to start. Now you can say to yourself, man, how do I even get a boat? Boats can be expensive, but also can be affordable. Again, similar way you go about Turo, you can go lease or buy a boat or a jet ski and finance it. You're paying X amount of dollars for it every month, and you turn around and rent it. And there are platforms also where you can rent your boats. One great platform is called Get My Boat. You can literally take pictures of your boat, list it on Get My Boat, and boom, start renting it to people. Now again, liabilities would depend on who you're renting the boat to, but there are rules around listings, and once you get started, you'll learn all the do's and don'ts about it. There's always a risk in every single business, but if you get started with one and you see that it's very profitable, and from what I've heard, it is very profitable to rent boats. Again, I'm just learning about this industry. I didn't even know it existed. But boating is a big deal in America. So, and especially during the pandemic, people who are businesses who are renting boats saw just a freaking jump in their business. So if you've ever thought about this, or perhaps you love being around water and you go sailing yourself, you can get into boat rentals, and it wouldn't really cost you that much to do it. Number 7, this is the last one, and I really left the best for last. Rental properties, real estate. Now, the consensus out there is that real estate is very capital intensive, meaning you're gonna need a lot of money to get started. Now, this is true to some level, but really you don't need money to get started. I've already spoken about one real estate strategy, which is wholesaling. Another is just getting started. If you've ever wanted to become, say, a landlord, or you want to build a real estate portfolio, one way you can get started is you can do what's called house hacking, which is renting some room under your house or in your house. Airbnb is a great way, and I've been there, done that. You can read or check out my Airbnb video here. And for a while there, it was lucrative, where I was able to monetize a room in my house, and we were doing about $500 on average every single month. Now imagine if you had more rooms to rent, or say you're a single person who lives in a much bigger house, you have more space that you need, you can rent out more rooms. Or if you had a multifamily, and get this guys, you can always get an FHA loan, even a conventional loan. A single family all the way to 4 units is considered residential, meaning you can get FHA or conventional loans for those, compared to if once you go past 4 units, if you have 5 units or more, then you're going to be in the bracket of a commercial property. Now, what's the big difference, or what's the big deal? Well, when you go on the commercial side of things, it means you have to pay or have more down payment, and the average is 20 to 25%. So whenever you're buying a property on the commercial side, you have to come up with 25% of the loan, or the amount of loan that you're trying to borrow. But if you stay on the residential side, again, up to 4 unit or 4 family building, guess what? Your down payment is going to be between 3.5 to 5%. So you can use as low amount as possible. And again, with this, you will need some cash, right? But not always. I've already told the story of how I got started, or one of the first deals I did, where I brought no money to the table, but what I brought was knowledge and skills, and in exchange for money, I paid with my time. So I was able to find an investor, which is a family friend, and they trusted me. Obviously, this is a relationship that's been built over time, but it's just a matter of selling the idea and making sure you're serious about it. Find somebody close to you. You never know, even your grandma, you never know how much grandma has stashed away. But it's important, obviously, not to lose people's money. So you can get in this thing by putting in your time, getting the knowledge of how this works, and get your very first rental property. And you can turn that property, if you want to make more revenue, go the Airbnb route. So for example, if you were able to purchase a single family unit, guess what? You can rent out either 3 rooms, one at a time. So Airbnb can bring you up to, say, $1,000 to $1,500 profit every single month, compared to if you turn that whole house into just a rental property, where you put in a family in there and your net profit is maybe $300 or $400. So that's the difference. But also with Airbnb, it means more maintenance. But with just being a landlord, it means you're not there every single day or every single month, right? So it's kind of tit for tat, but think about it. But one way to get started is to get in by exchanging your time and your knowledge, and being able to find somebody who trusts you enough to be able to give you down payment towards your first rental property. These are all businesses that you can get in for absolutely little to nothing. I hope that helps. If you have any questions, please leave in the comments below. Again, my name is Mike. Also, please give this video a thumbs up. If this is your first time, be sure to subscribe. I make videos like this about businesses, wealth building, financial knowledge, and I truly hope that I'm adding value. If I am, or if I'm not, again, leave in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next video. Peace.